What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fatal Garage. I'm Josh Thornell, and today's episode we're going to be talking about my 2016 ATS-V that we recently just took on the Western Express Rally. Now it's experiencing a little bit of engine issues. We know it's the spark plugs at least, so we're going to start there. So today's video, we're going to go over how to change spark plugs in a 2016 ATS-V. Now to get started, you're going to need a few tools. You're going to need a T27 Torx wrench or Torx bit, a 3/8 driver, a 1/4 inch driver, a 5/8 spark plug socket, a 10mm socket, 8mm socket, 7mm socket, 2 extensions for your 3/8, an extension for your 1/4, a 8mm open-end box wrench, your spark plugs obviously for your car, and number of spark plugs that you're needed for this car. This car requires 6, and then obviously your silicone paste for your dielectric grease. Now the first piece here is to remove the engine cover, which we're going to use this T27 Torx bit. And you also need to remove your oil cap. With that, your engine cover comes off. I like to replace the oil filter cap, or the oil cap after that, just to make sure nothing gets into there. Now that we've got the engine cover removed, now we can remove the 10mm bolts that held down the vacuum system on top of the manifold. Keep in mind, try not to do that. I guess this introduced 2 other tools, a magnet to grab that bolt that just fell, and then also an additional flashlight. Alright guys, so I was finally able to get the bolt out. It was down in here in this recessed area. I was actually able to get it out by using a magnetic head of a flathead screwdriver. So bring that into camera. So my magnet was too big, so had to improvise. Next, you got to disconnect a few of the lines to get them out of the way. Start up here with the top. Disconnect this solenoid. It's just a pinch. Disconnect that solenoid. And then over here on the driver's side, I need to disconnect my charge pipe or blow-off valve. I just disconnect the line here. It's really easy for mine. You have a connector right here as well that needs to be undone. That way this can move around freely. And then going over to the other side. On the other side is very similar. You gotta disconnect this fitting right here. Disconnect from my charge pipes and blow-off valve on the passenger side, just like so. That's fine. And then this fitting right here, which is a press and slide, and this is for air. And that should be it. Now this should be able to move up and down on this side, allowing us to get access to our charge pipes, which are next. Okay guys, so starting with the passenger side, I went ahead and moved the vacuum system manifold over to the side a little bit. That way we can see what's going on in here and a little bit easier to wrench. My first 2 bolts that I'm going to undo are the bolts that connect the charge pipe to your top mount intercooler. These are number 10s. Next up, we got to remove a few hose clamps. We have a hose clamp right here, connects the intake pipe to your blow-off valve. That's in number 7. And then also from your charge pipe going down to your turbo for that hose clamp is in number 8. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those, and then we can remove this charge pipe. Now with those hose pipes with those clamps loosened, now we can slide this off the intake, just like so. And then we need to twist and pull out the charge pipe. Like so. Now that we've got the charge pipe and the blow-off valve out of the way, now we can go in here, disconnect our first coil pack from the electronic connector, Pull that to the side a little bit, and then you have a 10mm holding down the coil pack. After you get that bolt out, you can just pull up on the coil pack. Now that we have our coil pack out of the way, now we can go in there and get the spark plug. So after we just pulled our spark plug, we noticed an issue here. These are pretty bad. Time to change them. Now that we got the old spark plug out, now we can go ahead and drop the new spark plug in. Now let's get our wrench, tighten it up. I just like to do kind of a ugga-dugga. Those of you who have worked on cars before know kind of what an ugga-dugga is. Next up, let's go ahead and slide back on our coil pack. Grab our 10mm that we took off that holds the coil pack in. Like so. And then let's go ahead and put our electrical connector back on. Then your first coil pack and spark plug are good to go. Alright guys, now that I've done one spark plug and coil pack, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them, and I'll do them here on a time lapse, and then I'll see you guys when I'm over. Alright guys, sorry about that. Turns out the camera ran out of memory, so I wasn't able to continue recording. I didn't realize that, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I'm continuing to button up the front end now. I finished the driver's side for the spark plugs, and then I've already done the passenger side as well earlier. So now I just need to button it up and plug in the rest of our lines that we took off earlier, and then it should be good to start up. Let's put our engine cover back on. Alright guys, so this is a cold startup on an ATS-V 2016. See how you guys like it. Okay guys, so started up the car. Car seems to run fine now. Idle's great. I wanted to take a step back here and take a look at these spark plugs that we took out of the car and look at how bad that they really are. Try and zoom in here, see if you guys can't see any better. Looks like that's about as good as you can get, but I don't know if you can tell, but these spark plugs are kind of gone. Especially these two right here. These two were by far the worst. And then working our way back, this is the front two cylinders right here. Second two, third two, obviously. It looks like 4 out of the 6 are actually still within spec of where they needed to be from the factory anyways for the spark plug gaps. But these two front ones, not so much. In fact, there's not even the iridium tip anymore on those two plugs. Don't really know where they went. It's pretty bad. I don't know if you can tell in this one, but yeah, you can see there's just nothing there. So these are bad. Good thing we replaced them. Sucks that we had to. It's kind of a pain in the butt job on this car, but it is what it is. Alright guys, so that's about it for this video. Hopefully this is helpful to anybody that has an ATS-V or just entertaining to watch. If you guys like what you guys saw, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more content just like this, Smash that subscribe button, and just like that, I'll see you in the next one.